Hey all, Baruch Levi B here from Soul Centered. Thanks for tuning in. I want to share with you just an introductory video on how I work with clients utilizing the Enneagram. So if maybe you've heard of the Enneagram, it's an ancient spiritual psychological personality assessment roadmap, and I am trained in the Enneagram. I studied at a institute called IEQ9. You can check them out. They have the most thorough and I would say scientific Enneagram assessment on the market as far as I've found. It is expensive. You get what you pay for, though. There's a lot of free options out there, but this is an in-depth analysis. I kind of learned a little bit about the math behind the questionnaire and the questioning process, and so it really is a methodical, thoughtful assessment. And so you can learn more about that on IEQ9. I administer it, or I give it to all of my clients, and then we utilize it. It produces a 22-page, pretty personalized, in-depth report. One of the challenges of IEQ9, it's really built for kind of the corporate environment, and so I supplement it with the more psychological and spiritual components of the journey, but it is really a solid foundation. Ennea means nine, and so there are nine fundamental energies in the universe, in personality types, and this is correlated in other mystical traditions. I'm a teacher also of Kabbalah. You can watch a different video on that, but Kabbalah adheres to a 10 energy chakra system, if you will, and the Enneagram is a 9 energy system, but a lot of parallels. So what does that mean, and how do I utilize it? Now, I have talked a lot in depth about my concerns for personality profiling assessments. I do not want to reduce or label or limit anybody. In fact, my work is exactly the opposite, drawing from Dr. Viktor Frankl and the idea of the defiant power of the human spirit, that in the end, you are more than your body, you are more than your mind or your emotions, you are a spirit. And that spirit, according to Frankl, is limitless, is infinite, is ultimate power, and it's within you. And you can always draw upon that place of wholeness, because that is the source of healing and guidance in our lives. And so I help people access that place and to defy, in many ways, the Enneagram. I think personality assessments can be helpful until they start reducing us. And so one of the things we look at is, first of all, where's your primary energy? What type of energy are you? And in my experience, this is really a thorough and accurate assessment tool. There are 9 kind of energy styles that I have found in guiding people and just living life. And so you'll gravitate towards one of these 9, but you have all 9 in them. And so the work that I do with the Enneagram is combining this defiant power of the human spirit together with that assessment. Which type are you? So for instance, I'm typed as an 8, an Enneagram 8. It's called the active controller. It's probably the most intense of all of the Enneagram types. But that's not who I am. And when I'm my lower self, when I'm in reaction, when I'm unconscious, that's how I react. That's how I show up if I'm not paying attention. But I don't want to always show up as an 8. I certainly don't want to show up as an unconscious 8 and bring that energy without intentionality. I can do great damage with that 8 energy if it isn't conscious, if I'm not intentional, if I don't see how it's driving me. Because I don't want to be driven by my 8 energy. I don't want to be driven by my introversion, my extroversion, my emotions, my body type, whatever it might be. Those are factors in my life. They are pieces of the puzzle, but they are not the puzzle. They are not my life. They are just the vehicle. And so I want to be the one driving the bus. I want to be the one deciding where the vehicle is going. So I look at the 8 energy. I've studied it through the lens of the Enneagram. There are different strategies based on the Enneagram of how to harness that, when to harness that, how to flow from the 8 to the 5 or the 8 to the 2. Those are my 2 lines. Each energy type is connected to 2 other energy types primarily. One of them is more of my past, my childhood. One of them is more of my adult or my future. And so I spend a lot of time looking at the pattern of 8 and how it flows and where it gets stuck. And in my life, when I'm reacting, how can I elevate in my 8-ness? And how can I expand beyond an 8 to be all 9 of those types? Because that's the work of our lives. That's the work that we're here to do. And that's true freedom. Dr. Frankl talks a lot about freedom, true freedom, not just freedom out in the world, but within ourselves, within our body. Responsibility is one of the defining words in logotherapy. Responsibility, but it isn't just how we normally think of it, of being responsible, although that's a foundational piece of this. It's about being response-able, able to stop reacting and start responding. Well, how do we do that? We need roadmaps, we need strategies, we need practical tools, and that's when I turn to the Enneagram, an incredibly powerful and accessible system for you. And so I would love to introduce you to the Enneagram. If you already know the Enneagram, I would love to help you deepen it, and most importantly, how to integrate it into your life so you can shift from reaction to your circumstances and move into responsibility, the ability to respond to your life. If you want to learn more, you know where to find us now on mysoulcenter.org. Reach out to me at Baruch, B-A-R-U-C-H, at mysoulcenter.org. Until the next time, shalom, salam, namaste, peace.